I rip earthly limits as cosmic truths align. We will show them signs in the horizons of flawless grand design. This ain't a text of conquest with 70,000 veils of light. Let blazing mysteries break through the darkest night, handed like a deathless flame to those who bear the blinding light. Behold the keeper of the book, dictating time and sight. In Solomon's assembly, with a djinn boasted a brute might. A man with inner knowledge shifted, she was thrown in flight. He folds grand space-time, not a cheap deceit, making human physics obsolete before the heavy glance could ever meet. Our kidder is the green one, teaching Moses hidden causes where the darkest mysteries and heavy truths vividly reside. Ladunni from God's baton, he scuttles down the boat, builds a wall for orphans, keeping destiny afloat. When Moses begged to see the mountain shattered into dust, the ultimate reality is rationed out and pure, sacred trust. I shattered through corridor 8, where eternity suspends, dismantling illusions where the earthly timeline sharply bends. The command of God is come, focused strictly in the past, a perfective, majestic tense, where the future's die is cast. The trumpet's blown, the judgment arrived, outside the rushing river of time, the perfect intellect dynamically thrived. A day with the Lord equals 1,000 earthly years, or 50,000 heavy years, as cosmic relativity beautifully appears. Peter's epistle echoes what the ancient Psalms command, 1,000 years of yesterday inside the Maker's open hand. Einstein wrote the best, so that passing time is a fleeting ghost. Minkowski fused the block without a ticking mortal host. Both his claims hold a symbol. Aquinas named the nut stands. Ibn Arabi's fixed archetypes defy the overarching mortal plans. Gödel mapped the timelike curves, turning a deeper page. The wheel of the wind equation has no variable for the flowing age. Barbara Ravelli catch the timeless universal rhyme. The mirage ascension saw the unborn drifting souls above the time. The law Mahfuz perfectly preserving the divine architectural glove. Atoms calculated strictly in the master scroll above. Exploding corridor B, the consciousness of matter screams, dissolving rigid boundaries between the lifeless and the dreams. There isn't a single thing that doesn't glorify his praise, though humans remain deaf inside an ignorant and silent maze. Heaven was a nebulous smoke, the dress to come by choice. It answered willingly and spoke with a collective heavy voice. On Judgment Day, the sinner's earthen skins due to him testify. Granted speech by God, who never lets the absolute logic die. The man of the sacred trust was offered to the earth. The mountain shrank in terror, comprehending all its crushing worth. Man recklessly seized the moral weight, stones collapsed from fear. Solomon taught the ants language, making shadows clear. David heard the trembling mountains echo every chant. The hand in Al-Jid, the wooden trunk crying out a heavy sobbing pant. Luke and Habakkuk knew the very stones would boldly cry. Panpsychism rising up to perfectly and wholly justify the sky. Strauss and Goff, Thomas, Black and Jean saw the fundamental gate. Whitehead, Leibniz, Spinoza validate the heavy state. Surge into corridor C, the shocking stasis of the resting flesh. A shab out after sleep was in the holy divine mesh. Asleep, overlooking wide awake, turn right and left in surgical grace, preventing the collapse within the dormant space. 300 years and 9 collapsed into a single day. The metabolic clock completely paused along the heavy way. No freezing cold, no winter ice, a temperate Ephesian cave, predating cryobiology and how the cellular structures behave. The tardigrade grays surviving 30 years inside the freeze. The suspended torpor resting in the microscopic optic breeze. Suspended animation therapeutic called emergency cooling, flush with dark expenses, millions to achieve the quiet hush. A man who slept a century, his donkey brilliantly built from bone. Abraham's 4 scattered birds miraculously fully grown. The Barzakh holding state, the holy martyrs never truly dead. A brilliant preservation, precisely as the deathless keeper said. The 3 corridors converge into a singularly massive hall. From Adam taught the absolute names to Luke man answering the call. The green one passes down the flame, the surgically prepared hands withheld from the unready crowds who could never understand. The truth was never stolen away, it was patiently and quietly preserved, delivered to the capable precisely as deserved. Einstein's stubborn illusion matches perfectly with perfective tense. Strawson's universal mind proves what the prophet says. The frozen tardigrade perfectly mirrors the Ephesian sleeper stasis, an intersection of the ancient script and physics pieces. Bismillah. The ink was dry before the dark was drawn. The The whole book already written while you thought it was dawn. To Umbrella, the future's spoken past, the reckoning already cast, the verdict already cast. 1,000 of your years is a single day in his gaze. The clock is a costume, the calendar a face. Einstein leaned and whispered that the now is a lie. Past, present, and future are one unbroken sky. The throne across the kingdom for the blink of return. That's knowledge of the book, a lesson you wait, learn, block. You live with scripture every moment standing still. The tablet already carved while you climbing the hill. Yeah, not a stone is a statue, not a grain is a grave. The smoke sky answered willingly, obeyed like a wave. The mountains got the offer and they trembled and they fled. Too heavy was the trust, but the human said spread. Your own skin gon' testify, your own poems gon' speak. He gave voice to all matter, so the meek ain't so meek. The palm trump wept aloud in the pebble saying crowd. The seven heavens hum a hymn, we too deaf to be loud. Playing, confess to playing, consciousness first matter to rise. The cosmos was never a corpse, it's alive. It's alive. Sleepers laid frozen with no ice and no cold. 3 centuries passed but felt like a day to the bold. Biology suspended, time unhitched from the breath. So who told you the grave is the finish of death? The water bear waits after 30 winters still. What the lab calls a marvel, the Quran called real. And the green moon walks endless, the keeper of the key. The flaming never gutters, it is handed so we see. The knowledge that was veiled wasn't stolen, wasn't sold. It was safe for the ready, far too bright to be told. Matter. Learn the names, every truth, every sound. The Luke man giving wisdom to the knower who found how to fold up the distance for the eye, lick it close. One flame down the ages through the one that he chose. Not a vault sealed by villains, not a lie in a cage of mercy. Casting solace from a sage to a sage. 70,000 bales, not a prison but a shade. So the finite little hearts don't get burned by the blaze. Present on every page in the tense and the tone. Withheld from no one, only seen by the grown. Now hear me, one father, one mother, one womb. This ain't dust in your lungs, they're gon' dust in your tomb. The color, the border, the banner, the creed, the costume that they stitch so we bleed for they greed. They profit off the fracture, they feast off the feud. They market us the hatred and we swallow the food. With the whisper you are different is the first suicide. The oldest little poison that we drink out of pride. The enemy ain't the brother with a different shaped face. It's the ego and the envy and the lie in my race. It's the greed dressed as glory, it's the fear sold as pride. It's the voice that says divide them, that's the demon inside. So I ain't pointing a rifle, I point straight at the hate. At the wedge in the middle that they hammer in our face. Lay the weapon in the soil, let the vengeance dictate. We were one at the origin, the one is the way. We bleed the same crimson, we cry the same rain. We buried the same fathers, we drag the same chains. So unshackled in hatred, let it rot where it lay. We are children of the clay and we're finding the way. The children of Adam dropped the knife from their hand. One caravan walking back home through the sand. Same exodus, same longing, same light in the chest. Same trembling little candle that is begging for rest. They be counting on our slumber, on a grudge in the wall. But a people that remembers is a people that won't fall. So I'm knocking on the door that was always your own. You ain't been fed the truth, cause the truth can't be sold. It is grown. Same origin, same journey, same maker, same clay. Lay the anger in the ground, let the brotherhood stay. The book was never hidden from the soul that wouldn't need you. Rise up now, my brother. Number one, all along, and that's real. And that's real.